Hello and thank you for joining us on the Monday edition of Journalist Hangout. I'm Ayodele Uzubakun. Today on the program, President Buhari commiserates with Nigeria Air Force victims' families, others investigation into crash of military aircraft. Chief of Army Staff gives troops of Operation Lafia Dole 48 hours to recapture Mate local government and adjoining areas from ISWAP. And later on the show, travelers abducted in Niger State regain freedom, but Kagara schoolboys and teachers remain in captivities as bandits kill father, son, abduct many in Kaduna. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju and Mojid Jamiu. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. Thank you for joining us. Before we delve into the discussion for today, let's say happy birthday to Alaja Jamiu, who clocks 79 today. Alaja Jamiu is the mother of our own MJ, Mojid Jamiu. We join numerous admirers to wish Mama many happy returns. Mojid, Mama is 79 today, and even on behalf of the Deputy Speaker of the Ekiti State House of Assembly, that's Right Honorable Akim Jamiu, we say happy birthday to Mama too.
Yeah, thanks, Ewa. I've been receiving a lot of messages today, greeting, wishing Alaja Sidikat Jamiu birthday. I can only wish her many, many more healthy years. She's been very a wonderful mom to all of us, 5 of us. And also today, you know, I mean, this rascal, Bamidele Johnson, is our mutual friend. Okay. He's a brother mate to Mama. He has refused to celebrate his own birthday, hiding under COVID, and he said because Liverpool has been losing. But he can't escape it.
It's not a good time to celebrate. It's not a good time. Liverpool lost 4 straight home games. And so it's bad enough to lose games, but to lose 4 home games.
What has that got to do?
So my friend is not feeling candor at this time, you know. But we wish him many more years. And Mama, we wish Mama many more years. My mom is just 1 month short of 1 year older than her. Okay. So, but they have a lot in common. Wonderful mothers.
All right. Let's begin the discussion for today with the dangerous development in Imo State, southeast Nigeria, where the former governor, Senator Rochas Okorocha, is at daggers drawn with his incumbent, Hope Uzodinma. The bone of contention is a royal palm estate in Owerri, which was controversially sealed by some thugs acting in order of the governor. Hell was let loose when some gunmen attacked the convoy of Senator Okorocha. Here is a tip of what transpired at the clash.
Just leave to the armed men. I don't know. Me and Darlington need to leave here. Because of me and me because of
that. Imo State. The incumbents, that's Hope Uzodinma and Rochas Okorocha. Babajide, what's happening?
Well, I'm disturbed about what's going on in that place. I thought we would be able to see a video. I'm shocked that it's not even part of it, because in that video you will see he embodied APC when Southeasterners did not want to have anything to do with the party. So you got to respect him. But the way and manner in which he was being tapped, you know, derisively, disrespectfully, I can't understand. Yes, he was tapping him disrespectfully. We've got to find that video. We've got to find that video.
It's quite viral.
It's embarrassing.
It's viral on social media.
That's the thing.
I mean, you don't treat, no matter what must have transpired, there are ways of...
That was even the act of provocation, the height of provocation.
Yes, this is the man.
That's the man. You know?
This is quite ridiculous for a former governor and a serving senator. Look at that.
Quite disrespectful.
This
is quite unfortunate. Politics should not get to this
And they are in the same party. That's what worries me. The leaders of the party must find a way to bring this to...
Now, it's very good to go to courts.
Let the courts
legitimately.
Let the courts
decide.
Yeah.
You know?
Not even a panel of inquiry.
I think I mean, they said they have set up a panel of inquiry who came up with the decision, but you still need the law court to make that order.
That's what the FCC does.
Yes.
By the order of the court, you see the FCC will put it there. So that by the order of the court.
You don't just end it at a white paper.
Yes. Because if the courts had given that directive, I'm sure Okocha will not have been able to do what he has done. You may have great intentions. Yes, he said that facility is under investigation and all that, but you have to do things the right way. We are concerned about the breakdown of law and order in the fastest growing state in the southeast. In the fastest growing state. Dangote, as a cement company, recorded outside of the Lagos area. That's the highest market for them, because that's a constant expanding city. If you go to where you see, it's constantly expanding. So we need peace in that place for the state to maintain its status as one of the emerging pride of our country. We don't want these people to cause so much problem to the point that their supporters will now be killing one another. We don't want to see that. And the two of them must show maturity. The former governor should stop calling Hope Uzodinma the Supreme Court governor, because one of the worst things you can do to make Hope Uzodinma get angry is to call him Supreme Court governor. You know? And the governor, the incumbent governor too, should respect his predecessor. That way, they will be setting the right example for their supporters. We are not taking side. We are just saying, look, in the interest of
time, you are fighting the former governor, you are fighting the PDP people. So how many battles do you want to fight? And Imo is a very, very delicate state, evenly balanced between PDP and APC. And they even have more members in the House of Assembly, the opposition. So I think the governor should tread cautiously.
Caution. Yeah. Moving on now. The country is still in the money mode over the Nigerian Air Force Beechcraft King aircraft that crashed on Sunday due to engine failure. All 7 crew members on board died in the crash. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has sent his condolences to the Nigerian Air Force and families of the victims of the crash. In his message, the president ordered full investigation into the fatal crash. Gentlemen, quite unfortunate. We rarely see that, and I noticed I've noticed the kind of stability in aviation sector in Nigeria in the last couple of years. So we hardly have this kind of
there was a time
disaster.
that we were really disturbed.
Yes,
Around 2006, 2005,
the
2006.
boats were just dropping anyhow.
But for a long time now, we've not had any major air crash. We've had accidents by the Air Force. Remember when we were preparing for the 58th anniversary, independence anniversary celebration, one of the airplanes of the Nigerian Air Force, piloted by squadron leader Muhammad Buhari, came down when it collided with another aircraft that they were doing simulation with, and he died. Buhari died. 2 other crewmen, they ejected successfully, but one of them also died. So, leaving only one survivor out of the 3 of them. And then January 2nd, 2019, one of our helicopters, the Mi-35M, came down in Damasak while assisting troops of Operation Lafia Dole were giving close air support to them. It suffered a problem of pressure and the plane came down. We lost all the guys on board, the 2 gunners, the 2 pilots, and the technician. It was unfortunate because one of those boys had just had his wedding and he was not given an extended leave to enjoy his honeymoon. So he died in the process. So we've had a few accidents like that, but we just hope that this will be thoroughly investigated so that it does not happen again. We hear that it was caused by engine failure, but that particular aircraft is even known for its safety, history of safety. And I have flown in it before. It's a reconnaissance aircraft, with fantastic cameras. No, I read one of the federal lawmakers saying that they were flying to Mina to rescue the Kagara schoolboys. You don't use that kind of fixed-wing aircraft for rescue mission. It's just a reconnaissance plane. They fly over that whole area, monitoring the bandits and knowing when to call the fighter jets to come and serve justice to the bandits. That's
this is not the one that will serve justice.
No. This is a reconnaissance plane, just like a normal aircraft, just normal fixed-wing aircraft. If you're looking at it, you will see it's not even painted in the colors of normal combat planes.
Combat planes are normally painted, oftentimes in combat camouflage colors. Just like Jide said, initial reports suggested engine failure. The pilot, wonderful guy, may God rest his soul, and the others, reported that engine failure at 10:38 a.m. And from eyewitness accounts, they saw him battling for about 10 minutes before it eventually crashed at 10:48, 10 minutes later, battling to maneuver from the warehouse is located at the airport and also some deeply populated areas. So he was, for 10 minutes, he battled to see if he could come back to the runway. It was, at that point, I could imagine what was going on his mind. Struggling to go back and probably crash land at the on the tarmac, or move to
maybe a farmland.
A farmland.
That's what Buhari did too.
Yes.
Buhari made sure that he steered the aircraft away from civilian areas, so as not to kill many people. When he got to just flat ground, he came down.
That's quite unfortunate.
Very unfortunate.
We just hope that the investigation, as I said, will be thorough. This is a terrible time for
to lose 7 trained officers.
And they are young men.
Yeah.
Because the former chief of air staff ensured that boys in their 20s can fly any category of aircraft on the fleet of the Nigerian Air Force. That's why you see they are flight lieutenants, you know, young boys in their 20s,
yeah, young boys
mid-20s
and girls, just like the other lady that,
All right.
that died the other day.
Moving on now, the desire to stay alive and uphold territory under their control fuels the passion of the soldiers following some setbacks recorded by troops in the fight against insurgency. The Chief of Army Staff, Major General Ibrahim Atahiru, has given troops of Operation Lafia Dole 48-hour marching order to recapture Mate local government area in Borno State from Boko Haram and ISWAP fighters. Let's hear him as he gave the order.
How are you all doing? Yes, sir. This afternoon, I come to visit you in Army Super Camp 9. I bring you very special greetings from the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. Hey, John!
No more prisoner of war!
All right, Major General Ibrahim Atahiru, that's the Chief of Army Staff.
Yes.
He has been a theater commander before. He knows what he's talking about. Jide, what is so strategic about this Mate local government? Mate. That place has been attacked severally by Boko Haram.
Yes, in the last 1 month, they attacked Mate at least 3 times. And you know, before now, it was only the local government quarters that you could say Boko Haram was not in control of. We had our troops on ground in the local government headquarters. So they made up their minds to chase our troops out of the place. They launched the attack some weeks back. While they successfully dislodged our troops. That is the truth. And while they were packing equipment that they wanted to loot, because one of the main reasons why Boko Haram attacks super camps is the desire to steal weapons. So while they were at it, 3 waves of Nigerian Air Force attacks came. And they slaughtered all the Boko Haram fighters on ground, because the instruction was any gun truck that you see, engage.
It doesn't belong to them.
Because our troops had left the scene. You understand? Once you are dislodged, you leave the scene. You leave the scene to fight another day. So our troops were not at the scene. They were the ones at the scene. They were the ones at the scene trying to mop up weapons, steal as many weapons as they can steal. A lot, you know, Boko Haram likes to fight in the night. It's because in that Mate, you know, area, strategic to them in many ways. But to the Borno State government, you know, the governor wants people to return there because that Mate alone can grow the entire rice that can feed the whole of the Northeast. So nice. He knows that they know that the government is desperate to bring people back there. So now they are trying to bring maximum violence so that we won't be able to have a foothold there. So after the third attack, the troops withdrew to Dikwa, which is about 25 kilometers to the place. The Boko Haram now remained there
till now.
They remained. You know why they were able to remain for that long? Because of the extremely bad weather in that area. The Sahelian haze, very dusty, it does not favor flying. So and they usually come around 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. They like to fight in the night. Visibility at that time is usually terrible.
For the Air Force.
Yes. So it's the same thing that happened when they captured Baga from Nigerian army. Remember that time? For a long time, we could not take it back from them because the Air Force was incapacitated based on the fact that the weather was bad. So now, what the chief of army staff has said is, because it's embarrassing, I said, see, go and take that place back.
48 hours.
Yes. You can't keep telling people that nothing happened in Baga. There are NGOs there. People, Mate, there are people who are living there. You know? So how do you tell people that, no, they did not? People, now the army chief is saying, go and take that place back in 24 hours.
I'll give you the...
Now, I heard him talk about overstaying. Many soldiers have overstayed in the northeast. It's a factor that has to be addressed because it affects morale.
Yeah.
When you cannot see your own people for years, you become homesick. Even in Iraq, American soldiers started turning guns against their fellow soldiers because they were homesick. So this is he said he's going to address that, but they also need to address the issues of weapon. When Boko Haram went to this swap, they came with 17 gun trucks.
Damn.
17 gun trucks to attack an army base is higher than anything that they can face.
All right. We'll take this break. When we come back, we'll talk more. It's still Journalist Hangout. We'll be right back after this timeout. Stay with us. It's your favorite program coming to you live from your best television station of the year. That's TVC News. Majid, the Chief of Army Staff, giving a 48-hour marching order. And he was very, very emphatic that I'm going to be behind you. I'm going to give you all the necessary support. Go and retake Mate local government.
I love the way he went there to boost their spirits. But beyond that, I think Jide was trying to say that before we went for the break, that a lot of guys have stayed in that place for too long. They are homesick, quote unquote. You want to tell me a soldier is turned to go to war? I mean, it gets to a point that you become, you start having diminishing returns. So we want a situation where some of these guys could be replaced and new guys taken to that place with a new fighting spirit. They have done absolutely well. They have been fantastic. And it also goes to show that, the battle is not over yet. Our guys are trying, but a situation where some people continue to tell us that, Boko Haram has been diminished, they have been technically defeated. I think we should stop using those languages. Now we can see a Chief of Army Staff saying that a charge of 48 hours, go there, we take back our territory. One of our super camps was taken. So I think they need that morale booster, and they need the right equipment and ammunition to fight this battle with the necessary area backing from the Nigerian Air Force.
Meanwhile, troops face numerous challenges in prosecuting the war against insurgency. Some of these include difficult terrain and landmines planted by insurgents. Let's share how troops struggle to evade some mines with you.
Are you seeing the mice that this bastard buried to us? Do you see it? You see this bastard burying mice for us? Nobody, no soldier will die here. Oh boy. About today they see these mice. I see them. See as he big.
so. What?
Chile, this kind of mine. This will just
big one.
I don't know.
That's why you need minesweepers. You
Even
need
if
the
a truck,
MRAP.
if a truck goes on that, it will blow that truck away.
That's the essence of the MRAP, because the MRAP will be able to withstand this kind
Really?
of... Yes.
The MRAP can actually do that?
Yes. It has sufficient armor to withstand this. Because at the time during the Gulf War, the Iraqis were unable to kill Americans except through mines. You know? So the Americans had to go and design the MRAP, mine resistance and ambush protected vehicle, so that they would bring down the number of troops that were being lost, especially in places like Fallujah. Yeah. They had to build the MRAPs so that they can bring down the number of people that were being lost to IEDs like this. So sometimes they get intelligence that these guys have buried something on the road, you know, so that then they move quickly to
very big
move those mines. Yes,
yeah,
you can see the impact. You know, the loud bang when it was diffused. So this is the thing. We've got to keep working hard. It's not an easy war. This war is not an easy one.
I don't know. They can't describe these people as ragtag army because look at what they are coming up with.
No, that is. I think is the ISWAP. It is the ISWAP faction that is very deadly.
They have capability.
Yeah, that has that kind of capability, and they are the ones who has the capacity. I mean, the temerity to continue to face and challenge our military, not Chekau's faction.
And they have the funding.
Chekau merely goes after civilians.
Yeah.
Still civilians food. Yes. But it is the ISWAP, the Albanawi faction, you know, that goes after military super camps, army bases and all that. We are
they have the capacity.
They have the capacity, no doubt about it. And they have the funding because being affiliated to ISIS sees ISWAP now as one of his favored boys. Yeah. One of his favored boys because they've suffered all kinds of setbacks in the Middle East. So ISWAP appears now to be giving them the attention that they've lost in all of those
and they are moving.
Areas. So that's why they are supporting ISWAP. Once they sense that there is a problem, they will change the leadership of ISWAP here, put someone that they believe is more aggressive or probably younger with greater ideas, and that's why we are taking the fight to our troops. The truth is, yes, we've made some gains, but I always urge that we should temper our optimism. You know, a friend of mine, when he posted something on social media the other day, we are close to victory. I said, no, calm down. Let's temper that optimism. Let's watch things. Because we've been in this situation before. There was a time in 2017 when I thought this war had already been won. Yeah. And then suddenly these guys regrouped and they came back stronger. I remember, I'm sure you remember somebody who wrote one article, one rubbish article, that Babajide, how come you don't talk when Nigerian army is winning? He must have thought that the war was about to end. But the information that he has is not what I have, you know, or what I had at that time. So I refuse to jubilate
too early. The former army staff has made it clear that it's going to be a long drawn battle.
Yes, so for him to have said that, maybe he has
understand
some from information. He knows that this is not a war that you can win
20
easily.
Years. Put it at 20 years.
Yes, it took Tamil Tigers more than 20 years. I mean, it took the Sri Lanka army more than 20 years to defeat the Tamil Tigers. Yeah. So we have to be ready for a long war. We can't afford to take our eyes off the ball. We must be focused. The troops must be sufficiently motivated. There are some army bases that they don't have enough weapons. We have to provide the weapons. You can, even the governor of Kaduna State was saying the other day that weapons need to be provided for the armed forces. Right. I've been saying this for long. The moment we get sufficient weapons, you will see that we'll turn the table against these undesirable elements.
All right. Now, we have a mixture of cheering and bad news regarding the kidnap crisis in Niger State. Kidnapped passengers on board one of the buses of the Niger State Transport Authority have regained their freedom. They are undergoing medical evaluation after the state government secured their release. Meanwhile, the abducted students and teachers of Government Science College, Kagara, are still in captivity. We have the story of the travelers as packaged by TVC News correspondent Sifon Essien. We would like to warn you that the visuals contain scenes with flash photography, so discretion is advised.
Freedom at last. 1 week of captivity has come to an end for these 53 persons, among them 8 children. They were abducted by bandits on the 14th of this month in the state-run commercial transport bus conveying them to Minna, the Niger State capital. But grueling negotiations by the state government and the abductors resulted in their release. It's a cheery moment for the state governor who received them in the government house.
They've been in the hands of their captives for over a week. They've been through tremendous trauma.
The trauma the victims have gone through is gradually paving the way for joy. A family member of some of the victims is gladdened with the development.
Relieved after a week of trauma. Today we have received them and we give glory to Almighty Allah.
Amid the celebration is the sad news: the 42 persons abducted from the Government Science College, Kagara, are still in captivity.
We still have the students from Science Secondary School, Kagara, in the hands of the captives, and everything is being done to ensure their release soonest. Nonetheless,
the government is optimistic that the Kagara victims will regain freedom, just like the 53 passengers. It's a grueling 1 week of engagement by the state government, which has resulted in the release of 53 persons earlier taken by bandits. Sifon Essien, TVC News, Minna.
The security situation, Mujid, let me start from you. I don't know. You can see the trauma, you can see the pains these guys have to go through because they were traveling by road.
What even, I mean, why I'm deeply shocked is the kids, the young boys and the infants that I see there. You can see the kind of trauma they will have gone through. I mean, they were picked up on Valentine's Day. February 14th.
Those bandits are terrorists. They don't
care.
Exploit women with nursing mothers.
Yes, these guys left Zungeru. They were going to, I think, Kotangora. I mean, they were picked up near Rafi local government. Since February 14, about 53 of them were trained in that bus run by the Niger State government, Niger State Transport Authority. I mean, they were waylaid on the road and they marched all of them into the bush, blindfolded. They trekked for about like 9 hours, including those children with small kids.
9 hours?
There for about 9 hours, blindfolded so that they won't even know where they were going. I mean, it took series of negotiations from the state government and some other well-meaning Nigerians before they could be freed. You can imagine the trauma they would have gone through. So the state of security, not only in Niger, all over the country, needs to be addressed. And I'm happy that the Governors Forum, they are intensifying efforts. I think they still met on Wednesday to discuss this issue. And most of these things are done by the so-called headsmen. I mean, camouflaging as kidnappers or vice versa. So that's why, because normally that is the usual thing they do. They kidnap people, they take them long, like those who are kidnapped in Niger State now. You'll be surprised, I mean, when they start telling their stories. I mean, it might be from Kaduna.
These guys are acting exactly like Boko Haram. They're acting, they are not showing any kind of, you know, any kind of sympathy that they are human beings. How can you abduct nursing mothers?
I think they should even have released those monsters.
They can't release nursing mothers. They can't release. They are not, their own is to kidnap. Their own is to kidnap. They believe that even when they are younger, people will be moved to ransom. So the truth is, Boko Haram has found a way, especially the Shekau faction of Boko Haram, has found its way into the North Central. Anybody still denying that now does not know what it's doing. Even the IG has said that Boko Haram is in North Central now, and that the abduction of those children clearly was also sponsored by Shekau, because if you watch their speech, the speech that they made, if you will listen to it till the end, they pay tribute to Shekau.
So Shekau,
in the final analysis, Shekau was also behind the abduction of those children in Kankara,
yeah.
Because those guys said it, that they were working for him. So, and Shekau published pictures of his men inside the forest in Niger State. So when we say, oh, they are behaving like terrorists, they are already terrorists. There is a thin line between terrorism and criminality. They want to make money for their terrorists to pursue their terrorist acts through kidnapping and all sorts. What Shekau and Co now do is, even when you kidnap high-profile people, they will tell you to hand over that person to them, so that they can make greater money than you possibly can make if that person was left to you. That was why those Americans had to move quickly to rescue their national, who was kidnapped in somewhere in the northwest. So we are being harassed by these lessons. In Rafi local government, Munya, Magama, you know, Shiroro, Kontagora, all of these local governments, bandits are running riot. So Niger is looking like more or less like the headquarters of kidnapping now, because even when these ones were still in detention, they were still kidnapping other people. The other day, some days back, they attacked a town in Shiroro local government, and some of the people had to jump into River Kaduna. So people died in the process. And even in Kaduna now, in the Gabi local government, they killed father and son and kidnapped people. Some of those bandits are threatening Governor El-Rufai that because he's saying that he will not negotiate, that they will continue to attack his state. So this is where we found ourselves. Bandits literally have turned themselves to some form of deity in our country, that we must beg them, because we have shown that over the years that we are incapable of using military might to crush them. So they believe that they are in a position of strength. So they keep kidnapping people and hoping that we'll come forward and negotiate. And when we negotiate, we'll claim that we did not pay ransom, but somehow money gets to them. So who is the person who is paying? You heard what the governor of Niger said. He said, if we pay ransom, they will use the money to buy equipment. But what is the option available to you? Can you rescue? Obviously, you cannot rescue. Because if you could rescue, you will have rescued those people. So in the end, you are still forced to negotiate. And when you negotiate and you come up with money through a third party, that they will use that money to buy weapons.
In addition to the release,
so it's a vicious cycle.
In addition to the release of some of their more dangerous,
yes, in detention.
In detention.
Every time they complain to Sheikh Gumi that some of their men were in detention. They even told the governor of Kaduna that time that he should help them to secure the release of some of their men who were being detained. It's just like Boko Haram saying, oh, release some of our bomb makers before we can talk. So this is the thing. Bandits shouldn't define the way we live. Bandits have to be exterminated. We've got to take decisive steps to deal with these fellows.
Since we don't have the capacity to, I mean, it's like we're in a catch-22 situation now. We employ the likes of Chegumi. The other time it was Mama Boko Haram. Now it's Chegumi that's helping us, helping Nigeria to discuss or to negotiate with terrorists. I mean, kidnappers, quote and unquote. I mean, to release
holding the state to ransom.
To release them. At a point, the ransom was as high as $500 million naira, 500 million. So, since we don't have that capacity to take them out like the Americans will do, and I think we should seek help. I mean, at a point, the governor, one of the state governors was saying that now they know the location where those guys are. Even if you know the location, must you say it out? No, must you say it out? If the moment you go on there to mention the location where they are keeping the hostages, I mean, of course, they will simply relocate. But it makes it very difficult.
No, they are constantly moving.
Yeah, the way we are managing this thing is not even good, even for our leaders, for the governors to go out on television.
I think everybody is confused.
Yeah, to go out on television and be saying that now we know the location, I think it's bad.
Everyone is confused. For someone to also say we should attack them with bare hands.
Bare hands.
You know the level of confusion.
Thank you, Mojide. We would have gone to Igbimo, but COVID-19.
We arrange Igbimo rice to Lagos.
Mama is 90.
We will do a bigger celebration when she clocks 90.
Yes, sir. BK, thank you so much. Thank you for your contribution. And that's all on Journalist Hangout. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. Don't forget to join us, Journalist Hangout, on Sunday from 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Uzubaku. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.